d'ici la fin de cette année 2020, le stade de Paul Biya sera bien évidemment prêt pour accueillir cette compétition. Nous mettons donc un terme à cette deuxième partie et nous reviendrons pour faire un focus sur la le World Football Summit Africa qui est prévu du 17 au 18 mars prochain à Durban. À tout de suite.
Sport has the power to change the world.
World Football Summit 2020 will eventually become one of the most important in the global event.
The key ideas are clear: development, gender equality, and shaping society for a better future. This is what we do when we love the game.
Alors WFS, World Football Summit Africa, donc c'est l'événement international pour l'industrie du sport africain qui rassemble les professionnels les plus influents afin de discuter des sujets les plus pertinents donc et de générer des opportunités d'affaires. Ce sera donc pendant 2 jours du 17 au 18 mars prochain à Durban en Afrique du Sud, qui deviendra naturellement la capitale de cette industrie florissante qu'est le sport. Nous allons donc dans le cadre de cette compétition prendre en duplex notre ami Paco Roche. Paco Roche, you are in Madrid today and you are preparing this competition. Please, can you tell us more about the World Football Summit concept?
Thank you for having me, first of all, and thank you for your interest in World Football Summit in WFS Africa. World Football Summit is, as our banner says, is where the football industry meets. We are a platform that brings together the different stakeholders of the football industry. That means clubs, leagues, and federations, and governing bodies, of course. But it also means broadcasters, technology companies, sponsors, media, etc. And we bring them together to discuss, discuss on the main topics around the industry, and create new business opportunities, with the common goal, of course, of growing both the game and the industry. We organize what we call the WFS series, which is one of the stages is WFS Africa, which is going to take place in Durban, South Africa in March. These are 2-day networking events in which we have a very strong conference program with some of the global leaders of the industry taking the stage to talk about the main issues around football. In that sense, we've recently had the Liverpool CEO Peter Moore, Ronaldo Nazario, who former Brazilian legend and currently president of La Liga's Real Valladolid. We had Andrea Agnelli, chairman of Juventus, and also leading executives from brands like DAZN, like Facebook, like Amazon, Microsoft, Banco Santander, and an extensive list of companies and brands related to football. As I was saying, the conference program obviously is a very important part of our events, but we also have networking activities. Of course, we have workshops, and we have an exhibition area in which brands and companies can have the opportunity to showcase their products and services to the industry's stakeholders.
Okay, Paco, since the beginning of this event in 2016, which balance can you make today?
Yes, as you point out, we strictly proves that what the idea that we had when we created World Football Summit, which was that football is growing like never before in its history. A lot of different companies from a wide range of sectors due to globalization and also due to digital transformation. As I was saying, a lot of different companies that a few years ago were not related in any way to football now are joining the football business or want to join the football business. And they have found in WFS and WFS events the platform that they had been looking for to come together. So yes, we are very proud, of course, with the success of our events and because as I was saying, that sort of proves this event recently celebrated its 4th edition in Madrid in September 29, and we had over 150 speakers and 2,000 attendees. So it has had an incredible growth, and it has become a global reference. But we've not only consolidated our European event in these last years, but we've also expanded. And as you may or may not know, this year we're hosting, of course, our European summit in Madrid, but we're also hosting an Asian WFS Asia in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and of course the first edition of WFS Africa in Durban. So our success basically proves that what the idea that we had when we created World Football Summit, which was that football is growing like never before in its history. A lot of different companies from a wide range of sectors due to globalization and also due to digital transformation. As I was saying, a lot of different companies that a few years ago were not related in any way to football now are joining the football business or want to join the football business. And they have found in WFS and WFS events the platform that they had been looking for to come together. So yes, we are very proud, of course, with the success of our events and because as I was saying, that sort of proves that the idea that we had, that we were in the right way, in the right path when we launched the platform. And of course, as one of our main objectives is also to contribute to the growth of the game. Well, yeah, we are absolutely very happy and very proud that we are somehow contributing to growing both the game that we have a big passion for, and of course an industry that we think that can be extremely useful in for the community and everywhere.
So Paco, this year you will organize the first edition of World Football Summit Africa in Durban in South Africa. What was your principal motivations?
Yes, as you were pointing out, this year we're hosting the first ever edition of WFS Africa. It's the first event that we're hosting in the African continent, and we are extremely excited with this project that we aim to consolidate in the same way that we've consolidated WFS in Madrid, and we are consolidating WFS Asia in Kuala Lumpur. Why Africa? Well, it's very simple. We are absolutely sure that Africa has a unique potential to become a global football hub for a wide range of reasons, but just to mention the two most obvious ones, I think anyone that has been in Africa will agree that no other place in the world matches the passion that Africans have for football. So that's a huge value for the game and for the industry. And in addition, I don't think there's any other place in the world that has the capacity of producing football talent the way Africa does, and you know, we're seeing that every day. With the increasing role that African players are playing in European clubs and all the titles and the success that they are achieving. So yeah, overall, we believe that Africa has a huge potential to become a global football hub. We believe that that would be excellent for the continent, and we are willing to contribute to the growth of the game and the business in the continent.
Thank you, Paco Roche. We hope we'll meet in Durban for this important sport event. Je rappelle donc à nos téléspectateurs que Paco Rabanne est donc le directeur de la communication de cet important événement sportif, le World Football Summit, prévu du 17 au 18 mars prochain à Durban, en Afrique du Sud. Alors rapidement, on n'a plus beaucoup de temps, Francis Languédé, à la lumière de ce que nous dit donc le coach Paco
Non, que dit Paco. Il faut dire il est le communication director.
Voilà, le directeur de communication donc de cet événement. Comment faire pour améliorer la formation du jeune sportif africain?
Enfin, disons plus pour comment vendre le jeune sportif africain à travers ce type d'événement. Il faut dire quand même que le World Football Summit, c'est le plus grand événement au monde en matière de sport business. Venir organiser une première édition en Afrique avec toutes les sommités qui sont annoncées, Fatma Samoura,
Benny McCarthy,
Benny McCarthy, c'est vraiment Danny Jordan, c'est du lourd en termes de, il faut dire, on parle de 80 speakers, c'est énorme.
Il y a également l'Ivoirienne, l'entraîneur ivoirien.
Tout à fait, l'entraîneur ivoirien Camara. Donc il y a Clémentine Touré, Touré qui est également une figure emblématique du développement du football féminin en Afrique. Je pense que ce sera un rendez-vous que Sport Business Africa ne pouvait manquer sous aucun prétexte. D'ailleurs, on a déjà reçu nos accréditations pour l'événement, donc forcément on y sera pour partager avec nos téléspectateurs justement cet événement de très grande ampleur.
Rapidement pour sortir, André Onana, un mot sur cette compétition qui se tiendra au mois de mars.
Oui, disons que ce sommet va réunir véritablement les figures de pro du football mondial. Et il y a là ce qu'on appelle un échange de connaissances et de compétences. Donc je pense que ceux qui vont se retrouver là-bas vont bénéficier parce que les speakers, que vont-ils faire? Ils vont partager leur expérience. Ils vont parler des leviers sur lesquels il faut actionner pour booster le football en Afrique et partout dans les zones où véritablement ça ne se passe pas encore bien. Donc, je pense que nous n'avons pas la possibilité, en fait, en ce qui concerne la compagnie dont j'ai la charge. Je me réjouis de ce que Francis Lin va nous représenter de ce côté. Mais c'est un sommet qu'on ne va plus rater. C'est-à-dire que pour l'année prochaine, on est convaincu de travailler dès à présent pour que chaque année, on se retrouve à côté de ces personnes qui vont forcément impacter l'activité que nous avons choisi de faire.
Merci. Alors le temps nous tient à la gorge, on n'aura pas le quiz de la semaine. On va rapidement conclure cette émission en vous disant merci d'avoir été des nôtres pour ce premier rendez-vous de la 3e saison. Merci à vous Francis Languéné. Merci André Onana d'être passé. Merci à vous également d'avoir été des nôtres. Donnons-nous rendez-vous